Welcome to the Czech Republic and the 2017 Konopiště Open, the second stop on the Disc Golf World Tour. We're here at the very beautiful and challenging Par 67 Franz Ferdinand Disc Golf Park. It's considered by many to be a top 5 course in Europe with its majestic landscape and demanding design, measuring at 3,300 meters, just under 11,000 feet in course length. The excitement is building for the Disc Golf World Tour and first event in Europe this season. And we're back. Here's the featured card, back 9. I'm your host, Avery Jenkins from SpinTV, here with my special guest, Vanessa Van Dyken. How you doing today?
Good, thank you.
We're here to check out the action on the back 9 of the first round featured card, hole number 10, 112 meters, 367 feet, a par 3. Beautiful landscape. Look at this place. It's absolutely gorgeous. The sun coming in, lush green, springtime in the Czech Republic. So Eveliina on a hot streak right now. 3 under for the round. Leading the card, going turnover shot. Looks like she left it a little high there.
Yeah, there was some headwind, so her disc kind of flipped over and hit some of the green on that tree. I'm just trying to do the same, but put a little less angle on it. But the wind is pretty strong, as you can see.
Now, this is the first time we saw really any conditions on this course. The previous hole, hole 9, coming down the hill, had a little breeze, some of the leaves blowing, the flag on top of the basket obviously waving a little more. But this is the first time throughout the entire round that we really kind of see some conditions. It's actually been really beautiful and optimal scoring conditions. Good shots by the group. Hannah getting it down there about pin high. That was a quick transition there as one player throws, the next is ready to throw. Long run here. Looks about 15, 18 meters.
Yeah, I was trying to give it a go. There's no danger, so I thought, why not? But I think I was a little scared of the wind. I wasn't sure if it was going to sail or not.
That's a long putt for anyone. Here you go, Eveliina. Looking pin high, maybe just inside the circle. She's playing very well. See how aggressive she tries this putt. Giving it a good run.
Yeah.
I've been watching throughout the front 9. Hannah really taking her time, and you can respect that. You know, long putt, short putt, they all count the same for one stroke, and up and in for the par on hole number 10.
Yeah, she's really consistent with her putting. I was really impressed.
Eveliina with the purple Huck Lab putters, tapping in for par.
It's funny, they look blue on camera.
We got our cameraman in the distance, Ano, taking some gorgeous photos. If you guys had a chance to check out the photo gallery from the Konopiště Open. But beautiful shots out there, trying to capture all the players in action. Hole number 10, feature card, 3s across the board. On a hole number 11. Hole number 11, 311 meters, 1,020 feet, a par 5. It's one of the more signature holes out here. This is the hole that, if you guys had a chance to check out, on the men's feature card, had 3 eagles on that card. And maybe the first time in disc golf history where 3 eagles have came on the same card. And the one-man eagle was the only one to actually take a birdie. So they were 7 under par throughout the foursome. Eveliina first to tee. Trying to take advantage of her distance, putting it down there, keeping it in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, I think it was just a little low and it turned over in the ground.
What are you throwing here?
I'm throwing a 400G D2. It's a more stable distance driver. I chose that because there was a little headwind and I saw what had happened to Eveliina. So I just stabled up.
Obviously playing in the same direction as the previous hole, so learning from what happened last time and overturning it, did good compensation and getting the disc out there, center cut the fairway.
Yeah, I think Kristin and I kind of overcompensated right there.
Hannah leaving hers a little nose up and high, hyzering out left side. This hole's 1,000 feet. There's going to be a few throws here. It's a long par 5, very difficult, very challenging, but there's a lot of space to throw.
Yeah, it's nice because you can do whatever shot you'd like. It's really fun.
Little open shot here. Eveliina maybe going to uncork one here. Big throw, reach back. And a nice turn. Looking forward to flex late. Plenty of space, plenty of room. So we mentioned earlier on the front nine the diversity of this card. You know, we have a player from Estonia, a player from Finland, and 2 Americans, but you've been living part-time in Finland. How's that been?
It's really awesome. It's the most beautiful country I've ever seen, and the disc golf there is amazing. They just have so much land, and they carve out their disc golf courses in the forest. It's just magical.
Are there a few courses there?
Oh, yeah.
Upwards of 600 courses nowadays in Finland. Second biggest disc golf market to the U.S., so it's just great to see how much activities happen in Northern Europe, and especially throughout Scandinavia. And then a player from Estonia, Kristin Tattar. Big things are happening down south, just below Finland. It seems like Finland's radiating a lot of disc golf throughout Europe, and Estonia being getting a lot of activity, a lot of players from Finland traveling to Estonia and vice versa, kind of creating a lot more competitive play.
Yeah, I was really excited to play with Kristin because she's the best woman from Estonia, and she's very impressive. I kind of cut that one a little too tight, but I had a lucky kick and I hit the bottom of the pole.
Wow. Wow, that carried all the way through the pine. Usually when you say that, it had good power. You had the right enough power. You had the right amount of power to get through those trees and those branches. Definitely a tricky upshot farther out, trying to navigate those pines and trying to get the hyzer around.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell the distance. I have trouble with that on those big pars.
Yeah, the wind picking up right through this tunnel here. See that flag waving? Hannah, just outside the circle.
Oh.
Eveliina taking her time, missing wide right, just off the chains. Not too much wind to account for. I don't know if that she was waiting for more wind or took something else into account. There it is, up and in. As the ladies clean up here on the 1,000-foot par 5. And an easy tap in.
Yeah, it's really nice when you don't have to putt.
Bag on the back, tap in. You card the lone birdie. Very impressive. Eveliina and Hannah with bogeys and Kristin with the par on hole number 11. Hole number 12, 201 meters, 659 feet. It's a dogleg right through this gap in the trees, trying to land in the sweet spot, and then your second, maybe third shot trying to clear this pond in the woods. It's the only water hole on the entire course, and there's a lots of chances for out of bounds. What do you think about this hole?
This hole's really beautiful, but it's definitely challenging because both of those trees in the fairway are trouble. So you're just trying to loop around them.
Yeah, very difficult. Par 4. Kristin going forehand, a little inside tight, catching that tree on the corner, as you mentioned.
Yeah, there was a little left to right wind, so I think when the underside of her disc was exposed, it just carried over to the right.
Eveliina learning from that previous shot of Kristin's, leaving a little wider. Good angle. Hopefully some good penetration forward. And Hannah going turnover.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Around the corner. Excellent shot as you see it finish straight.
Yeah, that was a really tough out that Kristin had. She just had to kind of pierce the gap.
A very unique hole. You don't see too many holes like this where it's a turnover to a landing zone and then a second or third shot across an OB pond. So you're just trying to lay up to the gap here, trying to put yourself in position?
I was trying to, but I was a little disoriented. I was aiming towards one of the trees, but I aimed towards the wrong one.
Looks like Hannah's just trying to lay up to the sweet spot. Trying to get to the pond's edge with a third shot clearing.
Yep.
Pretty good position right there.
Yes.
There's no point in forcing too much on this kind of hole. With that OB area, the pond, and even like a dry area just short of the basket, it's really not something you want to play too aggressive on.
Yeah, I just decided to lay up because there's no point in throwing in the water if you don't have a good angle.
Plus, you hate losing discs.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like Hannah's lining up to go for this shot.
Yeah, her disc is really close to that tree right there. So I think that's why she threw in the water. She was kind of afraid of hitting that tree with her hand.
Getting the red flag out of bounds. She'll take that next shot with a meter relief on the pond's edge.
Nice.
Beautiful upshot. Flex across the pond. Going standstill driver?
Yeah, I was on the hillside, so it was an awkward run up. It's not that far across the water, so.
But obviously good option with that kind of speed on a disc to make sure you get it across.
Yeah, definitely I'd rather be far than short.
Beautiful shot with the basket tucked back there. Good visibility of the good yellow band and basket. A little high on the approach, but on the green. Hannah on the pond's edge going standstill as well. Nice, clean, level, low shot.
Yep, right in the bullseye.
Eveliina drains it.
Yeah, that's a great par.
Same for Kristin. Up and in. As you ladies will clean up here on hole number 12. Eveliina with the lone par, and Hannah with a double bogey into the water. Hole number 13, 108 meters, 354 feet, par 3, a pretty wide open kind of hole. Maybe a good turnover or forehand shot?
Yeah, I think for me a great turnover shot. It's really wide on the left side, so you can really hang it out there.
Absolutely love how these baskets glow with the green background. Eveliina, big turnover shot. Trying to get up and over, but flexing out. Looks to be pin high, wide left. Turnover shot as well.
Yeah, I kind of made the same mistake as I have been all around, putting too much angle on it, but I got a friendly tree kick, and I think I'm about 16 feet from the basket.
It's one of the prettier holes on the course. I love just the forest and the trees beyond the basket. Add a really cool aesthetic. And even those logs in front of the tee pad, not too many players realize that a backhand, you're going to clear it easily, but with a forehand teeing off low, it actually comes into play.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Hannah, a little short hyzer out, may have came out a little early. But a standard approach to the basket here. Here's Kristin with a long attempt at birdie. Over the top. Excuse me, Eveliina actually went past the hole on this 350-foot par 3. Now wait, I'm not sure if everybody caught that. Did I get a late kick back to the fairway on the green?
Yeah, I got a lucky kick from one of those friendly trees and left me with a short putt.
Up and in for birdie. Awesome job.
Yeah, I was really happy to get a stroke on the card and kind of get back in the game.
As the ladies clean up here on hole number 13. And all smiles. It's good to see the camaraderie between the ladies on the feature card here. Regardless of birdie, par, everybody's smiling, everybody's slapping hands.
Yeah, this was such a privilege to play on this car. Everyone's so friendly and good vibes. I had such a good time.
Yourself carding the lone birdie, while the rest of the feature card pars across the board. Hole number 14, 256 meters, 840 feet, a par 4, and much like a lot of the holes, it's a wide open shot and then it kind of narrows halfway down the fairway, then opens up again. Basket tucked up on the hillside with a little slight uphill approach. Good challenging par 4 even for the longer throwers. As you take the tee pad.
Yeah, I chose this disc because it's just very straight, so I'm not worried about it finishing too much left or right. I'm kind of under that tree, but it's still a good opening shot from there.
Nice straight distance driver. Eveliina going the low turnover. Looks to be a little lower than she expected. See the leaves on the trees in the distance kind of blowing, so it may have affected the shot. Kristin making the adjustment. Throwing a nice distance driver. A little wide to the right, finishing back center cut of the fairway.
Yeah, that was a nice drive by Hannah.
I say all the ladies on this feature card, very good throwers of the disc. Driving it long and straight.
Nice.
Eveliina's trying to get the shot through the gap in prime position for her third shot to the basket. Especially 840 feet. This is 2 really good throws.
Yeah, I think none of us really have the potential to get there in 2 shots, so we're just trying to take as big of a bite as we can.
Good reach back by Kristin, trying to crest the hill, and does. The long thrower off the tee.
Yeah.
Good to see you in a prime position here. Got one branch off the tree to navigate. Throw it low.
Yeah, it was pretty low ceiling, so I just threw something understable on hyzer so it could pop up and just keep going.
Excellent adjustment there.
That was a really nice up by Hannah, but unfortunately it's just to the left of those low-hanging branches, so she'll have a difficult putt.
Yeah, tough to see there, but the boughs of that pine tree hanging real low, even within the circle of the basket, trying to get a low putt underneath those branches can be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Kristin with her patented forehand approach. Didn't get it over, but looks to be circle's edge. Going putter here?
Yeah, just trying to keep it straight and get it there, not too far. Leave myself with an easy putt.
Par putt for Kristin. Low and outside. This is a putt we're talking about here.
Yeah, she said she had a little window.
Maybe smaller than the disc could fit.
Yeah. It's pretty tough in there.
Eveliina from a knee, backside green.
Yeah, that was a tough putt because she had the low-hanging branches and it's downhill, so it's kind of tricky.
Nice, up and in for par. Definitely making a move. Last two holes with birdie and a par.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep my head cool and just play par, play smart, get some strokes back.
And Eveliina taking that putt for granted. Chained out high, right side and out.
Yeah, sometimes it's really easy to miss left side when you're putting uphill because you don't really think to adjust.
As the ladies tap out on hole number 14. You take the lone par, while Hannah and Kristin take bogey. Eveliina, double bogey. Hole number 15, 228 meters, 748 feet, a downhill par 4. Looks much like a golf hole on any golf course you'd see. A long tee shot. It's going to follow either 2 or 3 shots to the green. But a beautiful landscape with the rolling hills. What's the play on this? Just trying to get it down the fairway as long as possible?
Exactly. I'm just throwing my most understable disc and trying to get it to get that full flight.
Nice tee shot, hyzering back to the center of the fairway. So how many years have you been playing professional?
I think since 2014, 2015. Well, the 2014 I toured as an amateur, and then at the end of the year I went pro. So about 3 years now.
Playing most of your tournaments in California or traveling throughout the states?
Most of them in California and a little traveling. But yeah, I would say now even though my rating was pretty much the same as it is now, I think I'm a much better player because living in Finland, you have to have all the skill sets.
And playing against her most every weekend.
Yeah.
Eveliina, the young gun on the Euro Tour. 19 years old, you mentioned earlier.
I think she's 18,
18.
actually. But she's such a natural. She was born to play disc golf.
Well, it's great to see, when good players play against each other in a competitive set, you're only going to make each other better, and playing with her every weekend and her playing with you every weekend is going to make each other better and going to feed off that. So it's great to see for women's disc golf, but then just women's disc golf in Europe.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of push each other.
Nice shot to the green. Skip, check, pin high.
Yeah, I needed to kind of make a move there to cut some more strokes off. This hole's so easy to throw too low, and I think she kind of made that mistake.
Eveliina powering up and pointing a little wide right and getting a kick back. Maybe a difficult, challenging shot to the pin from there. Kristin very comfortable with that forehand approach to the pin.
Yep.
Eveliina not taking too many chances, just putting it up there close.
Yeah, just playing smart.
Looked a little high out of her hand. Drops low below the band and in. A little smile, wave to the camera. Eveliina not taking that putt for granted. You take the lone birdie. Excellent execution and put it on the green and in for 3. As the rest of cards, 3 pars across the board. Hole number 16, 302 meters, 991 feet, par 5. It's a dog leg, hard to the right, and then finishing more right at the end of the fairway. A very difficult hole no matter how far you throw, and it's always a challenge just to really navigate these corridors and these tunnels.
Yeah, this tee shot is super difficult. It's a full distance drive for all of us ladies to get it out of the tunnel. So it's definitely a tough par for everybody.
One of the more demanding tee shots at this distance. Trying to get the distance and actually trying to carry this tunnel fairway right off the tee. Hannah throwing a little nose up, a little high, catching those branches and knocking to the ground. Eveliina with good execution, looking for a low flex shot, catches the corner. Those 2 trees are right on the corner where you got to cut really hard to the right. I'm going to say besides hole 3, this might be at least the second hardest hole in this course.
Definitely, especially for women, because we have to do a full distance drive to get out of that tunnel and maintain accuracy. It's pretty difficult.
So Kristin opting for the forehand shot.
Yeah, that's smart play just to get out of there.
Eveliina's tee shot catching corner. Now I think she's going to try to cut the corner here with a forehand. Finding a gap and catching late branches, knocking to the ground.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get out of there when you're in that tricky spot. I feel like you just kind of get on that roller coaster of hitting branches.
Especially with the springtime here in Europe, it's in full effect. You can see these leaves fresh on the trees, and if you're off the fairway, it's thick.
Yeah, I tried to hit this little hyzer gap, but I didn't. I should have thrown something more stable so it'd skip back in the fairway. But
now, if you notice, these they have stakes in the fairway off to the sides of the fairway. Those will actually distance markers on the longer holes, being par 4s and 5s. There's a 150 meter marker, a 100 meter marker, and then a 50 meter marker to the pin. So it lets you gauge the distances on these longer holes.
All right, unfortunately, I landed right by one of those, so I couldn't do a run-up for my next shot.
And you are right there.
Yeah, right next to the marker.
So opting for the standstill.
Yeah, if I did a run-up, I would have to do it towards the tree line. So I just opted for standstill and just get it out there in the open. I tried to get a little greedy there, and I just ended up turning over short into the ground.
Still in the middle of the fairway, giving you another shot to the pin from there. Beautiful green. I love how it's kind of tucked back there in the corner, guarded by these trees to the left and low-hanging branches. So Eveliina trying to power through, takes down a limb on her way to the bullseye just outside the ring.
Yeah, that was perfect shot.
Hannah a little inside, catching that corner tree, but kicking back out to the fairway.
Yeah, this is another one of those holes where it's tricky to tell the distance from the basket. I guess it is a little downhill now that I'm watching it.
Backside green, maybe circle's edge. Yeah, just the way it's tucked back there. You want to fire the shot back there, and with the thick grass, more than likely it's not going to skip.
Mm-hmm.
Little breeze, a little cross left to right.
Yeah, I tried to run it, but my body wouldn't let me. It was scared.
You gotta listen to your body sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially on the golf course. Eveliina uncharacteristically missing another short putt. Missing a high right earlier, and then a low left. Still shooting well for the round, but there's a couple putts she'd love to have back.
Yeah, I think we all kind of have those few silly shots, but...
After watching her as you're taking your time, making sure that's in. That bullseye right there is at 2 meters, so very close putt, but definitely not a putt you're going to take for granted.
Definitely not.
As the ladies finish up on hole number 16, the long par 5. Yourself, Eveliina, and Kristin carding bogeys. Hannah with a double bogey. Hole number 17, 175 meters, 574 feet. The uphill par 4. Now this is a beautiful hole. I love the landscape and how it slopes up the hill. It's the one change I noticed on this course that's slightly different than the previous year is this OB down the entire left side of the fairway and around the back side of the basket.
Yeah, this hole's a monster hole. It's one of the final holes, and you have to throw all the way uphill.
Nice, getting a hold of that. A little crush, a little turnover flex. Playing a little more overstable than you probably previously thought.
Yeah, I think I was just a little tired and I couldn't really hold it over.
Also makes this hole difficult, throwing uphill, but it's a slight uphill run up on the tee pad as well.
Yeah, and after throwing as hard as you can for the rest of the round and you come to hole 17 to this, it's pretty difficult.
Eveliina trying to power up again, pulling it right side into the rough. Maybe also feeling that fatigue as well. Hannah flirting left side.
She just barely stays safe.
Yeah, what I love about this hole is there's a few downhill shots and crosshill shots, but this is the one that's the full-on uphill shot, and especially like you're saying, late in the round where you're kind of running low on energy and to hike this big hill and throw up this big hill before playing back down on 18. Hannah, second shot in good position.
Yeah. I kind of just, in all the practice rounds, I ended up OB on this shot, so I just decided to aim for the tree just to be safe.
Good adjustment, learning from what you learned in practice and making the correct shot. And besides this hole playing uphill with the difficulties it offers, there's that tree just short right of the green, and it plays much like a bunker for the fact that as you hit that tree or up in that tree, it's a very difficult shot out of there. And if you're tucked behind it, I don't know what you're going to do. Either a turnover, forehand, it's really going to force a really tough shot out of these players.
Yeah, especially because you're having to throw up, and it's at such a low ceiling. If you're in there, it's really hard to get anything out.
Hannah making the adjustment, a tough run up the hill, but puts it on the green. standstill putter shot.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tell myself rather try and throw past than be short because it's so uphill, especially on that final part.
Kristin here flirting with the OB line left side. We'll stand still forehand to the green. Eveliina taking her time on that putt, as a previous putt chained out low left as she made the adjustment. What's cool about this is a very picturesque video scene right here. Yeah. You tapping out for par, and you can see the top of the castle right through the trees.
Yeah, it's a really amazing spot on the course. I love how you can see the castle from this hole. Unfortunately, I made that mistake where putting uphill, I forgot to compensate. I think the tendency is to miss left when you're putting upwards.
I was going to say you might have been distracted by the castle.
Yeah, that too. And the bear over there.
Unfortunate break for both of you. Hannah missing on the par.
Yeah, you know, walking up that hill, you're so tired. It's one of the last holes, and I think we're all a little fatigued mentally.
Hannah's still smiling, though. Moving on to the last hole. Yourself, Hannah, and Kristin falling victim to missing the shorter putts, and Eveliina carding the lone par on hole number 17. Hole number 18, the finishing hole. 136 meters, 446 feet. It's a downhill par 3 tunnel shot, and it plays in a very difficult kind of touchy driver to a mid-range. You don't want to throw it too far. You don't want to throw it too high. You don't want to throw it too low or short either. There's a very kind of touchy but excellent finishing hole to this round.
Yeah, I love those flowering trees in the fairway. They're so beautiful, and they really complement the whole hole.
Eveliina, little high, little left, but turning and executed perfectly on the bullseye to finish the round.
Yeah, that was a mid-range, I think. It was a perfect choice.
Mid-range as well?
Yeah, I'm also throwing a mid-range. It's just nice to control the distance so you're not sailing past. But I think I got it a little bit higher than I wanted. And I'm circle's edge right there.
Good shape to the shot. Just need to build a little lower, like you said, get a little more forward penetration, but great executed shot.
Yeah, I think Kristin made the same error I did. A little too high, but still a good shot.
Is that mid-range as well?
I think that's a fairway driver. She was going for it.
Looked to be similar to the shot she threw on hole 1. Looks like that blue driver just skips off left and outside the circle. All 4 ladies with a chance at birdie. About 38 feet.
Yeah, I wanted this one so bad and almost got it.
Off the nubs and out. Very courageous bid on the last hole here.
Yeah, I wanted to stay as close as possible for the lead because Eveliina's parked, so I knew I had to run it.
Hannah up and in to finish her round. Eveliina with the lone birdie to finish in style. as you clean up on the finishing hole here. Through 18, featured card, back 9. And high fives all around. Eveliina with the lone birdie on 18. 3 down on the front 9. 3 over on the back 9. Shooting even par for the round. Holding a 4-stroke lead over yourself. It was just great to watch this round. It was a lot of fun to watch your throws and execution out there. And you definitely made a good comeback on the back 9. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I definitely had a much better second half. I was really happy.
I want to thank you guys for joining us. That was a feature card FPO Women's Open during the first round. Check back later as the continuation of the 2017 Konopiště Open from the Czech Republic.